So I remember being very excited and being very happy to share with the world on revengeofthefans.com that Henry will return for Shazam. And then unfortunately, I was made to be a liar. This is one of the reasons why I got out of the scooping stuff, because sometimes, you can be 100% spot on, and yet you can be made to be a liar retroactively. And David Sandberg would go on to reveal months later, that they did have a scene in the script for Henry Cavill's Superman, and that they were trying very hard to make that cameo happen. But ultimately, some red tape got in the way. Walter Hamada. Ultimately, some red tape got in the way, and instead of having Henry appear properly and have a real scene in the movie, they would just have a headless cameo where somebody wearing Henry's suit would show up as the final shot of the movie, and then we go to credits, and it's just a big ooh, Superman did come to, and it was just, ultimately, it became this cheap little headless cameo. And if you ask me, it's another slap in the face to Henry's Superman. You didn't let him get his sequel after Man of Steel. You put him in a movie where he's displayed miserably and then killed off. Then you put him in a movie that is half-baked like Justice League with bad effects where he looks like a joke. Where right out of the gate in the very first scene, his face looks mangled and he's a meme now. And then you have his Superman appear in Shazam without a head. It's just, the amount of disrespect is staggering. All right. So Henry in Shazam, Headless Henry takes place. And after Headless Henry, we kind of go back into Superman being underground for a while. And from 2019 up until a very interesting announcement during the COVID pandemic, somewhere there in the middle of 2020, Superman was off the table again, and there was all this talk about how they were moving on, where Walter Hamada really didn't want Henry Cavill's Superman showing up anymore in anything, and that they were going to introduce a Supergirl in the Flash movie, and that Supergirl would be the new member of the Justice League who's Kryptonian, and we might introduce a brand new Superman down the line. So it didn't, Henry's Superman lied dormant until the Snyder Cut movement reached its zenith.